This is Tyler Reed for EDG 636 at Asbury University, and this is a Smartnotebook Screencast lesson produced on Camtasia, taking us through a smart notebook for the three branches of government. This lesson is a social studies lesson. Here it's about the branches of government. Here it's listed as a 4th grade lesson. For Kentucky standards, it goes along with the 5th grade standards, much better, of the learning the Constitution, Declaration of Independence, and the branches of government. And the prior knowledge that will be needed is the basic foundations of government. And it states that this lesson is designed as a review lesson, and it is. There's much information provided here, but as it says, the basic foundations of government is needed as prior knowledge. Here it lists the standards which the lesson correlates with. The student will demonstrate an understanding of the beginning of America as a nation and the establishment of the new government. They will classify government activities according to the three branches of government established by the United States Constitution and give examples of the checks and balances that the Constitution provides among the branches. It will also compare ideas of the Articles of Confederation with those of the United States Constitution, including how powers are now shared between state and national government and how individuals and states are represented in the National Congress. The Smart Notebook starts off as covering the executive branch, and it's very interactive. You can click on the stars and reveal who is involved in the executive branch: the president, the vice president, and his cabinet. And then it goes on to the legislative branch, giving an overview of it, and you can move the magnifying glass to reveal that it is the Senate and the House of Representatives that makes up the legislative branch. And then the judicial branch, it's a little off here. It just tells you the judicial branch is made up of our courts and judges. The Supreme Court is the highest court in the country. 9 justices make up the Supreme Court. The President nominates a person for the Supreme Court, but Congress votes to elect each person of court. So each of these slides give an overview of each branch, and then it tells how they rely on each other as checks and balances, how any law or policy that goes through or is presented has to go through each of the branches to be put into law. And then it goes into a little more information. You can, this is a review section where you can ask the students questions, such as name the three branches of government, and they would say the executive, the legislative, and the judicial, which you can pull for the answer. Which two groups make up Congress, the Senate and the House of Representatives, and so on and so forth through each of the tasks or questions. Here again is another review activity along the same lines. It's just a reading section, which they have a word bank here, and they can fill in to the appropriate spots. Our government is made up of 3 branches. The blank branch is made up of our lawmakers. That would be the legislative. It is divided into the House of Representatives and the Senate, and as you can see, they just drag and drop. This would be a very interactive activity for students to come to the board and be able to drop the appropriate word into the blank. Then the notebook goes on to a crossword puzzle, which you can click on a given number in the crossword puzzle. And sometimes it is a little hard. Then it says the number of blank is determined by a state's population. So then you would click here and could fill in the blanks. And sometimes it is a little fidgety. But as you can see here with the R, if you fill in each blank, it gives you the letter, and it turns blue if it is correct and red if it's wrong. It's not working real well, but that would be the completed puzzle, and then you can reset it and have multiple students try at a different time. Then it goes on to an interactive game, which is not working as I don't have access to the entire Smart Notebook. The worksheet quiz does the same as well if downloaded. And then here you can get a little more information on each office, as you can pull the Supreme Court down and learn that they're elected for life. The Vice President is the President of the Senate, is the tie-breaking vote. The President, Commander-in-Chief of the military. The Cabinet advisors the President. And you just kind of get a little more background information about each of the offices. Here again is along the same lines. You pull the tabs and find out more about each branch. It's the judicial branch. It's made up of 9 justices. These justices are nominated by the President and must be approved by Congress. Justices are elected to their position for life or until they retire or die. The legislative branch, this is our Congress. It is made up of the Senate and the House of Representatives. These men and women debate with one another and make laws for our country. The executive branch, the President and Vice President and members of Cabinet make up this branch. And then it tells you the United States is made up of people from many different countries. We may have different languages and cultures, but one thing we share is our government. And then it provides you with resources to access each of the games and videos and images that were provided within the lesson. And as you can see, this is a very interactive lesson. It provides many review opportunities for students. And as I said, this follows along with the criteria of the 5th grade standards in Kentucky, but it could also be applied in a high school setting for a kind of a RTI program for struggling students in a government class as well.